All right, friends, it's T-Man, and I'm back with a brand new video. And the feature of today is basement bodybuilding, bro. Yes, man. We are going to react to this gym lifting, recruiting, fitness slave himself, basement bodybuilding, broski. So, basement bodybuilding says progressive overload standards are out of control, bro. They're out of control, man.
One of the most important things for making good progress is staying sane in the process. That's the number one thing I want to help you with today, and I hope I can give you a realistic approach.
Here's the thing, man. If you're not making progress and year after year is going by, how the hell can you stay sane? Look at this gym lifting slave. He is not progressing. He's been around here for quite a while. Me, go in the gym 2, 3 months, and I progressed. I've been away from. They don't even go to the. I don't even go to the gym often, man. And I said during COVID, I was gone from the gym for maybe 4 years since I started my channel back in like what was it, 17 or 18. So I mean, this is ridiculous, bro. This is funny stuff, man. Watching these people.
To progressive overload and rates of progression. Before I get to the video, I have to give a shout out to Barbell Apparel. All pants, all joggers, jeans.
Look, I told you people before, if I just wanted to get good at lifting, you understand me? Just good at it specifically and not build any muscle, then I'd come in and be like all the rest of you, lifting slaves. You understand me? I'd be lifting concentrically just like you. But you have to understand, I'm already in my late 50s, bro. Get it? I'm pushing 60. Why the fuck would I want to be a lifting slave in a gym doing concentric lifts when it's kind of obvious everywhere you look around, it tells you you are suffering from sarcopenia. Muscle is much more harder to put on, or yes, to put on, to build, then not, it's not like impossible. I just said it, the difficulty, you have to put more work into it. You understand me? You have to go through a repair and a remodeling. You have to damage it. You have to go through all this cycle, bro. You have to lift much more heavy eccentrically. There's just more factors that are involved in there. But like I said, if you want to be in competition with all the other lifting slaves in the gym, and you know, that's what they basically are doing in the gym now, they've adopted the principles of powerlifting and try to bring it over to bodybuilding. It doesn't work, bro. And so they're all looking at each other, and they're all performing slaves. They have become performing concentric lifting slaves. Get it? And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. Listen, I'm a, how should I put it? I'm a victim of that myself. I've done those things before myself. Trust me, I'm just like everybody else, bro. I'm a human being. Get it? I've done these things before, so you know, I know about it. But anyway, the point is, look, but bodybuilding really is not based on that. It's based on eccentric exercise. Why? Because bodybuilding is about building your body. It's not about coming into a gym and performing. There's a difference between if you want to perform or if you want to build your body big and strong. I'm not saying you can't perform after you build your body big and strong. You can. You'll perform much better because if you build more muscle, you'll be able to produce more force. It's kind of obvious. Listen to me. Gravity, Earth, your body, it expands. Go into space, you shrink, right? Land on Earth, your body expands. You can produce more force. You're much stronger because of gravity. Now, if the gravity was greater on planet Earth, would you not be stronger if you went to a planet that didn't exude that much gravity as planet Earth did? Of course. You'd be a lot stronger than those average people on that planet that didn't have a lot of fucking gravity. You understand me? Because let's say the gravity was 10 times stronger here, but you go there and it's not as strong. You'd be a lot stronger. You get the idea. You understand me? Your body has to measure up physically according to gravity. These are the principles of whatever, okay? The universe. But you get the picture anyway. So in order for you to be much physically stronger, you need to create more muscle. You understand, more fibers, more sarcomere in series and parallel. They make you stronger. You understand me? They produce more force. Yeah. So you're like a person that is from a planet that has more gravity. When you build more sarcomere in series and parallel, more muscle fibers, more myofibrillars. Do you understand me? Now, people are gonna say, but I weigh less, and I can do a bench press really heavy at a low body weight. Yeah, but you're laying down on a bench. You're not using your entire body weight. You're not using your legs to bench press. See the difference? Listen. So let's say somebody only exclusively practices a bench press concentrically, but he's not big, he's small. See what I mean? You think big people are afraid of little people? No, they're not. So, but he may have a strong bench in the gym trying to show off. You know what I mean? But there's not a lot of people that do eccentric exercise anyways in gyms. They don't really exclusively do that anymore. That's why they're not strong. They're not really strong. And they're not really building muscles. And so they're taking these products, they're bulking, they're eating like fucking artificial food to gain weight and shit, do weird stuff to pretend that they're big. And then they're not, and that's actually in hindering their strength abilities. This garbage food they're eating is actually hindering it. They don't even realize that. Increase of estrogen, they're fighting uphill estrogen and stuff. Their testicles are shrinking because they're eating all this garbage fake food. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of stuff that's hindering you actually from your lifting aspirations. If you truly want to be healthy and have large testicles to produce more testosterone, you want to eat more natural food, more raw seafood like, salmon and tuna raw. You want to eat it raw. You try to not overcook your beef. You want to stick to beef, not overcook it or anything. If you have to cook it a bit, try to keep it as rare or raw as possible. See what I mean? All of these things are going to affect you. But if you start eating plants and carbs and this and that, bread, donuts, all these weird things and coffee and shit, they hinder your lifting abilities. See, that's a difference. But anyway, you can practice at lifting concentrically, definitely. It doesn't matter what your body weight is. You can practice at lifting it, but you'll never be as strong as you think you are. You see what I mean? Because you left out building any muscle. But anyway, like I said, not a lot of people are doing eccentric exercise. Neither is this guy. He's not doing that. He doesn't understand the principles of eccentric exercise or what they do because he's a lifting slave.
Everything for $99. You buy it for life with their lifetime guarantee. All right, so anybody that's followed this channel for a long time knows that I built my channel off of a very specific philosophy, which is that progressive overload anxiety and obsession with the rate of progression that you see at the gym is the most common thing that's going to hold back any serious lifter past the beginner phase of lifting. So
I love this. And then he has to make up stuff past the beginner phase of lifting. What is the beginner phase of lifting? They always have to go to this newbie gain bullshit. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist. It only exists in your head.
Even to this day in 2025, I still think this is a major issue, and I still see it happening quite a lot, not just in the gym, but also being talked about throughout social media. There's a very unrealistic expectation of the rate of progress that lifters should be seeing. And this is for a few different reasons, but I think the main thing this comes down to is something I've talked about quite a bit before a very long time ago, which is going to be most content creators aim their content towards beginners or towards less serious lifters because those happen to be the mass. They happen to be the larger audience. So obviously when content creators make their videos geared towards those people, they're going to get more and more views. These are people.
My content is just based on reacting to these videos. That's all I'm doing. These aren't hate videos that I'm making. I think people have it misconstrued. I don't hate this guy because I don't know him. How could I hate him? I don't know anything he's doing. I'm simply reacting to what he's doing in his video. And if that's considered hate, well, so be it. You know what I mean?
People that aren't too serious about lifting just are kind of spinning their wheels, and usually they have at least one major training variable that is just completely holding them back, that in reality is a very simple fix, but may never be fixed because they're not serious enough about lifting to fix it. Usually this is going to be either your intensity, so people...
He's never going to fix it. You understand me? He's never going to fix it. He's always going to fail because I told you these people are stubborn. He knows my channel. He told me not to direct my videos towards him. You want to know why? He didn't even take the time out to listen to what I have to say because he thinks he knows it all. And that's the kind of people that will always fail. You understand, man? He's a failure like all the rest of these influencers. And I really don't care about his channel and I don't care about him and I don't care to inform him. I just care about my channel and the people that watch me. This is just to inform them. And he's using his arms. Look at this.
People that just don't want to kind of.
And this is failure. This is why people are failing. He's doing hammer curls with a rowing machine. What the fuck? And the fact that it's light enough to pull it with your arms means it's not strong enough to cause any type of damage in the fiber to get it to grow. See what I mean? It's not going to activate jack shit.
Embrace how hard lifting is and just kind of get comfortable getting uncomfortable, as corny as that phrase might be.
Yeah, but he's not getting uncomfortable. He's comfortable lifting slave. Most people are comfortable doing this. You have to get uncomfortable by that weight being so heavy that it's not rowable with your stupid arms. It is only rowable with your back. Your back can only pull it back and then it goes forward with the weight. You allow the weight to drag you down. That's why there's less energy involved going down. You understand me? And causes damage to the muscle fibers. And when it's going down, you're actually absorbing. You actually absorb energy in eccentric exercise. That's why you're not worn out from your exercise. But it absorbs more energy going down. You lose energy going up.
Really do like it. And ultimately what happens is content creators kind of sell out to making content for these types of people. And whether it's a true sellout and they're just looking for extra views for financial gain, or if they're just genuinely trying to help these masses of people that aren't seeming to get the results that they desire. And a lot of the time it's a very simple fix, like I just talked about a second ago. Usually they just have to simply train harder, eat a little bit more, clean up their technique. It's very basic stuff. But what happens with this is you get so many content creators that get such a huge following and have such.
See that? Look, he's pulling with his arms. It's an arm workout. This isn't a back workout, and this is concentric. This is concentric lifting because there's not enough load on the eccentric. It's just a waste of a workout. What a waste.
A loud voice that make all this content that ultimately the intermediate and advanced lifters or even late beginners start.
I love this, intermediate and advanced lifters. I have had people tell me they're advanced lifters and they don't even have a clue what the hell they're doing in the gym, bro. Trust me. I observe everything. I observe these people. They don't know anything. They don't know what sarcoplasmic is from myofibrillar growth or how to get it or do it. They don't understand the difference between eccentric, concentric, or overload. They don't understand anything, man. It's kind of weird. They don't know anything about lifting, yet they go there to lift in the gym, and then they're trying to tell me, I go, what are you doing? And they go, I'm building a muscle. I'm like, okay, yeah. Whatever.
To kind of get a little bit brainwashed and persuaded by just a little bit too much, because when you're an intermediate or advanced lifter, you take it very seriously. It's part of your lifestyle. You like to kind of
He is not an intermediate or an advanced lifter. I wouldn't consider him either one of those. None of those. Because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Watch content, hang around on the online fitness industry and whatnot, online fitness community, I should say. And it's very easy to let this constant voice that you're hearing of, oh, you have to progress at this crazy rapid rate, add 5 pounds every time you go to the gym, add a rep to your set every time you go to the gym. That stuff, it's all well and good, I guess, for beginners. But when you hear that constantly, starts to warp your perception of how fast you should be progressing in the gym, and you have.
Again, there's not much weight going on here, and he's just pulling back. He's not really putting effort into it. This is great for cables. If you have 2 cables and, each side goes up to at least 300 pounds or something, or, I don't know, 100 kilos each or something like that, you try to maximize it. So you pull the cables down, you lay on the floor, you pull, and then you let the weight pull on your rear delts. You get them to pull up. See what I mean? So this is not really going to do very much for his rear delts. This is just ridiculous. Just waste of time.
To know when to kind of drop that approach, because ultimately that will hold you back. It's just not realistic and it's just not sustainable. So the first kind of talking point that I wanted to go
I don't even know what he's talking about. Sustainable point is he's just making up stuff, man. Is this to make up content or what, dude?
through today is this unrealistic progression standard that is existing in the fitness industry. A lot of people will, or a lot of content creators and lifters will talk about you have to add a rep every single week, but in the vast majority of cases,
You have to add a rep every single week. You usually want to keep your rep ranges around 10 or 12. Don't want to go higher than 12. Some people keep it between 8 and 12. It depends. But really, that's reserved for eccentric. It's not have nothing to do with concentric lifting. Man, I just whatever.
this just doesn't happen, even for the content creators talking about things like this. So what I want to do is actually take you guys through this 1 rep max calculator from strength level.
He can lift concentrically till he's blue in the face, and he is never gonna build any muscle. He will get pumped. He will get water. He'll get some, increase the sarcoplasm and stuff like that because it's become endurance. If it's concentric, it's based on endurance and performance, and he's coming in often. If you're coming in often to the gym lifting, that is based on endurance, and that will increase the sarcoplasm and glycogen stores. That's what it's going to do, bro. Get it? So he's gonna walk around all puffy, showing off his fake muscles, going, look at me. And then he's going to think he's stronger, lifting concentrically, got strong because he thinks it's based on the puffy look because he got some water. No. Like I said, nobody out there is building any muscle because nobody out there does eccentric exercises, bro. I'm telling you, look around. Very few people. Now, some do some small amounts, but they don't really target, like their workouts aren't really eccentric. You understand me? Because if it was, it would take you out. Look, I post this now in my community section so you can read it. If you don't believe me, let's see this one right here. Hold on. I just posted this one. Psychological and neural adaptations to eccentric exercise, mechanisms and considerations for training. The reason why it's so difficult, eccentric exercise, so abstract. Eccentric exercise is characterized by initial unfavorable effects. Yeah, the effects are unfavorable, such as subcellular muscle damage, pain, reduced fiber excitability, and initial muscle weakness. However, stretch combined with overload, as in eccentric contractions, is an effective stimulus for what? Inducing physiological and neural adaptations to training. Eccentric exercise induced adaptations include muscle hypertrophy, increased cortical activity, and changes in motor unit behavior, all of which contribute to improved muscle function. In this brief review, neuromuscular adaptations to different forms of exercise are reviewed. The positive training effects of eccentric exercise are presented, and the applications for training are considered. You understand me? They never talk about concentric training, bro. Anywhere on the internet, there's very little information. There's very little of anything about concentric because that's not bodybuilding, bro. Get it? Anyways, neuromuscular and functional changes introduction induced by exercise are specific to the mode of exercise. Perform a degree of mechanical tension, subcellular damage, and metabolic stress can all play a role in exercise-induced muscle adaptations. Yes. So there are 3 types of muscle contractions that can be utilized during exercise: concentric, isometric, and eccentric. See that? concentric, isometric, and eccentric. These three contractions, broski. You have to figure out how you can manipulate them in your favor. Eccentric exercises are those actions in which the muscle lengthens under tension during eccentric contractions. The load on the muscle is greater than the force developed by the muscle, and the muscle is stretched, producing a lengthening contractions. Eccentric exercises are characterized by muscle microlesions and greater mechanical tension as compared to concentric and isometric contractions, and therefore may result in greater muscle adaptations. Although all forms of exercise may induce impressive muscle adaptations, they do. I would agree, but that one is the best one. So just this section right here. However, since eccentric contractions induce greater mechanical tension on the muscle fibers than concentric exercise, this form of exercise induces a more rapid addition of what? Sarcomeres in series and in parallel, as inferred from the increase in muscle cross-sectional area and what? Pennation angle. Why does it increase in parallel and series eccentric? Because that's what activates the growth factors. Concentric does not damage muscles to activate the growth factors. The growth factors, broski. Get it? Man. Now, let's go back to this part. So, yeah, I posted a lot of stuff here. Since eccentric contractions produce greater mechanical tension on the muscle fibers than concentric exercise, this form of exercise induces a more rapid addition of sarcomere in series and in parallel. Yeah. Get it? And this is right from NCBI, broski, right there, NCBI. See that? Yeah. Parallel inferred from the increase in cross-sectional area and pennation angle, bro. Get it? You understand me? Fuck. Mechanical tension is generally considered to be greater during the eccentric muscle contraction compared to the concentric contraction, meaning that when a muscle is lengthening while contracting, it experiences more tension than when it is shortening while contracting. Yeah. Anyways, you get the idea. I think I posted one where it tells you, there was some other stuff I posted here. These are the exercises. So according to the research, exercises that involve significant eccentric contractions like controlling lowering phases. So the best ones for these additions is this one right here. So it would be example of exercises that are good eccentric emphasis for hypertrophy. Squats, lunges, leg press, and calf raises. And then there's upper body, that's legs. Then there's upper body. They're just saying these are the best ones. Upper body, pull-ups, chin-ups, bench press, overhead press, and dumbbell rows. So these are the major best ones they're talking about when it comes to eccentric. But, you know, I mean, when it comes to deadlift, the deadlift doesn't really particularly exude that much. See what I mean? Because it doesn't really, how should I put it? It doesn't isolate. It doesn't isolate an area. It just does the entire area. However, you can do bodybuilding eccentrics or deadlifts. Sorry, bodybuilding deadlifts. You can try. But you got to do a lot of. The problem is you got to do a lot of sets to get it to damage in those areas, those specific areas when you're deadlifting. But anyways, there's not enough full contraction eccentrically in the deadlift. That's why it's not good. It's not good for trying to get more muscle damage. But it still can happen. It still can happen. You just have to do more sets of it. They're just telling you these ones specifically, but it does still cause damage. But anyways, I'm gonna get into all of this. So, yeah. Concentric muscle contractions do not cause exercise-induced muscle damage. Well, there you go. It's from NCBI right here, right? Or journals, what is this? Physiology.org. So they're just the same like NCBI, whatever. So there you go. Does not cause muscle damage. So you're wasting your time skating uphill like this guy. He's skating uphill. Do you understand me? You understand skating uphill, dude?
.com. So there's a handful of different calculators. They're all more or less the same from what I can tell. But this will just give you a realistic look into how rates of progression go. So let's say you are benching 245 pounds for your 1 rep max, or let's say you're doing 225 for 4 reps on your favorite pressing variation, whether it's a barbell bench, machine bench, Smith bench. It doesn't really matter. So let me record my screen.
What about
and I'll pull this up for you. So, all right, I think that's going. So, if you're benching or whatever press variation you prefer, 225 for 4, let's calculate that 1 rep max. So, this would put your 1 rep max at 245 pounds if you're doing 225 for 4. So, let's say your goal is to add a rep every week, just 1 rep, no more, no less. You're not even adding weight every week. Let's say you do that for 12 weeks. Actually, let's go even a little bit smaller here. Let's say you do that for 6 weeks, and you add 1 rep every week. Now you're doing 225 for 10. Let's see what happens to that 245 1 rep max. It is now 300. So I hope that puts things in perspective just a little bit. You added 55 pounds to your 1 rep max in 6 weeks. How many times does 6 weeks go into a year? What's that? 8 times, 8.5 times. So if you want to take 55 pounds and repeat that 8 times, that's 400 pounds to your 1 rep max. So okay, if you think that's realistic, adding a rep every week, that means your 245 1 rep max would then go to 645 within one.
See how hard it goes down, but it goes up really easy on the eccentric? Watch.
Calendar year. How insane.
See, did you notice that? Because nothing going on here, bro. He's like all the rest of the lifting slaves. He's trying to pretend that he's building a body by doing concentric exercises. He wants to fool you like everybody else. That's like Alex Leonidas. I saw these big guys in the gym on steroids. They were lifting heavy and they got big. So you have to lift heavy to get big, concentrically. No, you don't. You have to lift heavy eccentrically. It has to be extremely heavy. When it was going up, it went 2 times lighter. Well, it's got to go 2 times heavier down. So think about that for a second. Think about that. Ponder that. What I just said. 2 times heavier going down. It went up. It went up. In other words, it went up 2 times lighter, but it had to go up 2 times heavier. So what does that say? What does that mean to you?
Does that sound? What sounds more insane? Adding a rep every week or bringing your 1 rep max from 245 to 645? Because more
gravity needs to drag you down, like I explained before. You're on planet Earth. It has gravity. Gravity needs to pull you down so that it can add more sarcomeres in parallel and in series so that you are stronger and you can exude more force production. Get it? You get it, man? So, because you're on planet Earth and the gravity is not increasing anymore, your muscles will not increase in parallel and series, but you are trying to increase it in parallel and series. So therefore, you need to create artificial gravity. How do you do that? Eccentric exercise. So when it pulls you down with gravity, the weight and the gravity of the planet, right? You using a weight, right? Artificial weights that you built in a crazy gym or garage, then the more that it can pull you down, the more it will add these sarcomeres in parallel and in series, and therefore you'll be able to exude more force than the average person. It would be like you went on planet X that had 10 times more gravity than Earth, and you returned to Earth, and now you are a Superman. Get it? You're Superman, like Superman in the movie. Get it, dude?
or less they're the same thing. So does that kind of put it in perspective, this obsession with adding?
Do you understand what I'm trying to explain to you? When you go into outer space, You lose sarcomeres. Your body loses muscle. Why? Because you're floating. You're not on gravity. You're not on planet Earth anymore. Duh. You're floating in space. So your body says, "We don't need this muscle. We don't need it." You understand me? But when you land on planet Earth, when you come from outer space, you're going to feel really weak at first, but then your body's going to compensate. How? It's going to adapt by growing what? Muscle. You understand me? It has to grow muscle to get stronger. It has to exude force. It has to be strong walking on planet Earth because of the gravity. Now, when gravity starts pulling you with the weights, that's how you get bigger and stronger, when you go with gravity. But if you keep going against gravity, it is associated with a loss of. That's why science says that these concentric exercises that he's doing is associated with a loss of sarcomere in series. Get it? You are skating up a stupid hill like a bunch of fucking nimrods. Christ. Concentric exercise is associated with a loss. A loss. Listen to the word, a loss in sarcomere in series. Fuck, you want me to prove it to you, fuckers? Look at this shit, bro.
According to ScienceDirect.com, it has been suggested that eccentric contraction, EC, is associated with increases in serially arranged sarcomeres, sarcomerogenesis, while concentric contraction, CC, has been associated with serial sarcomeres decrease.
See? Did you understand what she just said? That eccentric contractions are associated with an increase in serial arrangement sarcomeres. Why is that? But there's a loss when you do it concentrically. Want to know why? Because you're going into outer space, broski. You're lifting weights in outer space. Get it, man? You understand, bro? You're going against gravity. Christ. But anyway, you get the fucking idea, dude. Oh, man, you're all skating uphill, man. You're crazy. All of you are crazy fucking. You're nuts. All you people are nuts out there. Sorry, there's a commercial there. Hold on.
Obsession with adding a rep every week and how it really is unrealistic? I hope so. So let's go back to that.
Yeah, he's adding a rep concentrically, yet it's associated with loss of muscles. So if you're trying to build muscles and this is associated with a loss of sarcomeres, you're trying to grow sarcomeres, but it's associated with a loss of sarcomeres. Wow, we are really progressing, bro. Get it? We are really progressing. Christ.
Same 225 for 4, 1 rep max example. So 225 for 4 gives you roughly 245. And of course, these numbers are going to vary a little bit based on the individual. Like some people are going to be much better at 1 rep maxes. Some people are going to be much better at repping it out. But most people, it is going to be a bell curve. Most people are going to be, give or take, about the same. So this is going to hold true for more people than not, and even for the people that aren't.
This guy is a dum-dum, and all the people that follow him, all 25,000 of them, they're dummies just like him, man. And you're going to say, but Master T, you're hating. I'm not hating. I'm just telling you the truth. If the truth hurts, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry I hurt all of your feelings out there. Pow, pow.
Are going to have their numbers skewed. The same principle still applies, just maybe a little bit less extreme. So if you're doing 225 for 4, let's say you get to, let's pick a 1 rep max. So say you want to bring your 1 rep max to from 245 to 275 in a calendar year.
Okay.
Do you think that's realistic? Do you think that's a good rate of progress? I would say that's not too bad. I would say that's pretty realistic, and I think most people that are benching 245 for 1 rep max can get to about 275 or so within a calendar year. That's basically going from like kind of that early intermediate phase to like that solid middle of the road intermediate phase, which is you're going to have a pretty respectable physique generally at those strength levels. So let's say you want to bring...
You're going to have a relatively great physique at those strength levels. Strength has nothing to do with building a physique. You get strength when you build muscles. But muscles, when they build, they don't say, hey, we're trying to get a beautiful physique because we're building muscles. They only ever build when they go with gravity. You understand me? Muscles only ever grow when they go with gravity. But when they go against gravity, there's association with a loss of muscles. Get it? But they're gonna say, "But I'm strong. I'm a str- I'm a strong guy because I can lift concentrically heavy." No, not necessarily. You're not physically strong. You are producing some force, definitely in the opposite direction. But are you really that strong? Have you really tested your strength? I say, look, here's the thing. Let's say somebody does gymnastics. Can you do those gymnastics? Does that mean that you're weak because you can't do them? No, it just means you didn't practice at doing gymnastics. So everything takes practice. Now, building muscle is not based on practice. You understand what I'm trying to explain to you? When you actually build muscle, you don't have to practice at lifting those weights anymore. They should be considered light, just like you're increasing your natural strength. You understand me? You're increasing your natural strength by doing what? By increasing your fiber count. Yeah, because gravity, earth, planet earth, hello. See what I mean?
That to 275 or so. So let's say you get 4 with 225 now. Obviously, we already know it's 245 for your 1 rep max. Let's say you bring that to just 5. So let's say you add 1 rep. What does that do?
Nothing.
That brings you to 253. So that's a solid little over 8 pounds.
It does nothing because he's adapted to the eccentric, and his concentrics are, he's like skating uphill, constantly skating uphill. He's going up, but then he's going down, but he's going up and down. He's not doing anything.
Maybe actually it was 245.5, so it doesn't really matter. These are all very nitpicky points I'm making. So let's say you bring it to 6. So you've only added 2 reps. But now your 1 rep max is 16 pounds heavier.
We're Roofer, a powerful roof.
16 pounds heavier. So 2 reps add 16 pounds.
Again, he's rowing with his arms. This is not an arm exercise. That's why he's stupid.
Obviously, we can kind of get the gist of where we're going here. So 225
This is taking way too long now.
for 7 brings you to 2.
See what else he says here.
225 for 4, up to 225 for 8. 1.
This is a waste of time. 1 rep max calculations. What's a 1 rep max gonna do for you? So you could be a performer for somebody? See what I mean? Nobody is building muscle out there, bro. Nobody's building it. That's why they take steroids and they bulk and do all these weird things. You don't get it. People just don't get it yet in their head.
Rep to your top set. Entirely unrealistic to say add a rep to one of your, say, 3 sets.
And what's that going to do? He keeps talking about adding a rep to these sets. And what's that going to do? Nothing.
Every week or every
Nothing.
that in depth if you want to check.
If you add a rep to your sets, you're going to get smaller than you were last time. Why do you think people complain about, I got smaller? I lifted heavier, but I got smaller. Why are people getting smaller in the gym? They're not getting bigger, they're getting smaller, and they're complaining. And so they start bulking, getting fat, doing all these weird things. They're actually getting smaller. They're getting smaller. Why? Because it's associated with a loss of sarcomeres. They're shrinking. They're getting smaller, your muscles, bro. Get it? And then you start eating carbs and blowing up and bulk dieting, eating creatines and fucking who knows what, a bunch of garbage shit, whatever. Donuts all day. Like the Trent twins, cookies and donuts all day.
Check out my thoughts on that. Just go to just sort my videos from old.
Okay, yeah. Sort it, yes.
Progressive overload on, not tracking that.
Progressive overload. You don't understand progressive overload at all whatsoever. Nobody does. Nobody understands.
I'm not taking them as seriously, starting to alter your technique across the board, and it just kind of it's a very hard thing to come to accept when you feel like.
Yes, it's a hard thing to accept that you're failing and you're going to continuously fail the rest of your life at this. You basically enslaved yourself to something that you're just not getting anything out of it.
you've made all this progress, then you have to feel, then you
What progress have you made? What progress? You got better at doing this thing on this bar? You crazy?
feel like you're starting at square one. And there is another end to the spectrum too, which is going to be the other extreme. So let's say you're not,
Okay, whatever.
and it can feel very satisfying.
He's the type of fitness influencer I consider a faker of sophistication. There's a lot of these people, they fake sophistication. They have these channels, they fake sophistication. They don't know anything, man.
In the short term, but ultimately that weight isn't going to be potent enough to get you to grow since there's so much
That weight is not going to be potent enough to get you to grow. It doesn't make you grow, you stupid. It fucking damages muscle, and then you grow at home.
stronger and you have so much more muscle mass than
Oh, it's stronger. You got some more much muscle mass, but you're not gaining any muscle mass. You're not. You're skating uphill.
somebody that should be using that weight. The tough part is a lot of people
Sorry, I got bumped off there. Anyways, let's get back with this video.
will be very hesitant to embrace the advice that I'm giving in a video like this because they fear that it will kind of make those people feel validated, that they should be very timid to add weight and everything. But the reality
This advice is terrible advice, okay? That's just, again, I'm just reacting. It's terrible advice. I'm sorry. Just
is you don't want to be on either end of the extreme. You actually want to be very much balanced in the scenario. You don't want to be the person that is way too aggressive. You don't want to be the person that is way too shy and timid when it comes to adding
Whoa, this video is going way too long now, man.
weight. So what I want to talk about here is you have to be able to strike. You have to know when that +1 is going to be available. In some cases, this
What the hell is he talking about? Can somebody explain to me? Strike that +1. What are you mumbling about?
this is going to be you failing a rep. This is going to be you not taking that extra rep and not trying to
Failing that rep, not taking that extra rep. What is he mumbling about?
force the rep because you know it might not be there, but it's more so just understanding when to try and aim for that +1. It's important to know
Let me ask you people this question. Are there that many dumb people out there? Jesus Christ, what is this?
that it should be coming and that you
What
can't
is
just get
this?
good stimulus and
Stimulus, nothing. He's just wasting his time. Look at him.
your sustainability just to scratch that.
Need to use catchy jingles.
Fifth rep written down in your spreadsheet or on your program. I also want to talk
Okay.
about actual progressions here, so sustainable. So just by the nature of that, you are going to have to repeat performance for a few weeks on end at various points of your lifting career. But
You have to repeat performance on your lifting career. It's gyms, bodybuilding is not based on performance. See, I told you. These people, they're so dumb like this guy. He's so dumb, bro.
adding a rep in particular is somewhat arbitrary. It may be the
Performance.
that you
yes.
see in between adding a rep to a set.
Okay, whatever.
Lift last week, you can't exactly ton of work and then you just have to like sit back and wait. You don't
What?
get any instant feedback. So everybody's kind of scratching and clawing for that instant feedback. So what I would say is if you feel like you need kind of that instant feedback from lifting,
Yeah.
I would actually focus a little bit more on like posing, enjoy the pump, check yourself out in a posing room or something.
Posing, check out the pump. Yeah. It's all about the pump. You gotta get pumped up and check out the pose. You wanna know why? Because you can't build any muscle. So might as well just get pumped and check out the pump like everybody else. Get pumped, pose, check yourself out, and go home. Whoa, man, this is ridiculous.
At your gym or at your house after the lifting session, like enjoy
After the slave lifting session? Yes, okay. After that slave lifting session, yes.
the gains that you've made, and I would say be
The gains that you made, you didn't make any gains. You got pumped and you looked in the mirror. What are you talking about?
proud of yourself and just understand that you put in a lot of
Yes. Are you proud of yourself? Yes, you put in a lot of work to get that pump and look in the mirror and go home.
work to make that progress, and you can kind of just stand and look at yourself and feel proud about that, because obviously there's not
See, you can stand there and be proud of yourself that you got pumped and you looked in the mirror, you posed and looked in the mirror. Okay.
a whole ton of other short-term benefits that come with lifting. That kind of
Short-term benefits that come with lifting. If you're adapted, not really. No, there's no benefits.
scratch that psychological itch. So overall, that's for the most part what I want to talk about in this video. So
Okay.
I hope that was something that resonated with you, and I hope it just gives you
Yeah, it really resonated with me. Yes, definitely.
a realistic look into how
You
progression
know how much it resonated on me that not to follow people like you, not to do any of the shit that you're doing.
should look for bodybuilders over time. So with all that being said,
Well, he's not bodybuilding, so he's not a bodybuilder, and neither are the other people in the gym, whatever the fuck they're doing there. They're not bodybuilders. I told you before, bodybuilding is based on eccentric exercise. If you are not doing eccentric exercises, then you are not a bodybuilder, bro. Get it? It's not based on performance. Concentric exercise is based on performance. And if you're performing, that is in bodybuilding. If you are performing, that is not bodybuilding. Listen to the word performing and bodybuilding. They don't fucking sound the same, dude. Get it? And concentric is not eccentric. Eccentric is eccentric, and concentric is fucking concentric. It's really simple, man. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. I'll see you in the next video. I gotta go. I'm tired of listening to this shit. All right? See you in the next one. Ciao, friends.